Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. What's happening, family? What is happening, family? Obviously, that's why I was Slack. Having some video issues for some reason. This damn app doesn't want to recognize my camera this evening, so you're gonna have to deal with the logo tonight. Which is all fine and dandy because y'all don't need to see my face. You really need to see what I'm be posting tonight. How's everybody doing this evening? It's a blessed Shabbat to everybody. Blessed Sabbath to all. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, whichever you prefer. Manifold blessings to the family that's in the house. Bayan Shakal, I see you in the house. Shalom. Ruth 1, verse 16. Shalom to you. Brother Byron, Shalom. What's happening, my eye? Need y'all to be sure that you playing by the rules, man, and y'all treating your brother right. Who wiped their feet before they came in? Because I was checking. Some of y'all haven't been tapping in with your brother, man, wiping your feet. I know that much. Do your brother that solid, would you please? All right. Brother Ivan, Shabbat Shalom, Barakatah to you. The best ever, been a great night. All praises. I don't want to ruin your name. Paul Ishur. Forgive me if I'm off. Man, y'all got some names, boy. 47 Gammon G74. Shabbat Shalom to you. You're saying, how can I join a camp in Canada? Also, how can I help my Native American brothers learn the truth? Let me help you out with that, my good brother. Let me show you something. Contact information is below. Full transparency, Messengers of the Covenant does not have a branch in Canada. However, all it takes is a faithful brother that's prepared to put in the labor and living in the spirit of faith to make something happen. The Covenant 144 at gmail.com. Reach out to us, my brother, and we'll chop it up and we'll talk about that. All right. Who else I got? Diz the Wiz. Shalom, my sister. Hopefully y'all did what you're supposed to do. Y'all know what time it is when you come in the house. All right. Got a lot to cover tonight. Just like I said on Wednesday, I had to kind of break it up, man. For some reason, the traction on Wednesdays, Don't Shoot the Messenger, is really slow. I don't know if the notifications ain't going on. I don't know if y'all overwhelmed. Do me that solid too, man. I've been, really meditating on my presentation with brothers and sisters, man. I know many of y'all stick around and ride it out and go through the motions of information and the scriptures and moving in the spirit with me. And let me know in the comments, whether it be now or later, if I'm doing a sufficient job in serving, you brothers and sisters, or would you rather, because I know it'd be information overload sometimes with me. I'll be throwing up 20, 30 different articles and going crazy. If it's easier, maybe slow it down. 2 or 3, 4 or 5, and expound on those more in depth. That will help me understand how to move. But I just be coming across and getting so much information, be moving in the spirit. I want to share everything that I find with y'all. And that's how we end up, with 2.5, 3 hour, Don't Shoot the Messenger episodes. Or I try to find myself when I have the time. I'm like, well, I don't have the time to be doing DSTMs every day. But when I do, I'll accumulate and put them all typically on the Shabbat. I got time to go a little longer. As the little phony fake crip Edomite said, I got time today, cuz. I got time today. I don't know if y'all seen that video. But nonetheless, yeah, just give me your feedback, family. I'd appreciate it. So I can kind of, move in the spirit, man, and serving my people to the best of my ability, man. Karatazar, man, I appreciate you. Diz the Wiz, my sister, I appreciate you as well. The water for your feedback. All right, yeah. 47 Gaming. Yeah, hit us up. All right. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you're outside, man, got to start it off right on the Shabbat. It's only right. It's only right. You know. Um, you saw that, huh? Yeah, that was a complete joke. Anyway, let's get to the business at hand, man. Let's get to the business at hand. Hopefully, everybody's got the information below. Karatazar Dizawiz, do me a favor. Just a little get together. I don't know if y'all available. I know y'all are local. Hit me up on the email. I'm gonna invite y'all to something this Sunday, if you're available. But nonetheless, brother Byron, appreciate you. All right, okay. All right, as long as y'all riding with me, I don't want to, I don't want to overwhelm y'all and have y'all like, this is too much. I can't take it, whatever, But if y'all with it, then I'm definitely with it, man. We're gonna keep riding. All right. So, where was I? Let's go ahead and get started, okay? Sharing my screen. I got a couple videos I'm gonna show y'all, man. I mean, you see in the title, the Mpox, they're calling it the state of emergency. There's more rumors of wars, including other nations now are being involved. So the evolution of World War III is only showing its face even more prevalent right now. Slow Biden is talking about the economy is great, everything is fine. He's doing a great job. He's added so many millions of jobs. Unemployment is the unemployment numbers are low, which is going to quell the recession talks. Meanwhile, he's tested positive for that thing 5 days in a row. Hey, he's got long, what they call it? Long lasting COVID. Damn, they got me to say the word. Anyway, yeah, he needs to worry about that, man. And we're going to see if the devil is true or if he's a lie. We're going to see about that, among other things, man. So let's get to the business at hand, y'all. Let's get to the business at hand. Hopefully y'all can see this. Let me blow this up. So we know, according to the scriptures, man, let's just go to a classic just so that we can set the tone right. Set the tone right. We know in Matthew, the 24th chapter, among other verses, and in the Apocrypha. I think in the 5th chapter, it speaks about these particular things. Definitely 16, definitely 15, right? So let's look right here. We're just going to read the 6th verse, just so that we can start it off right. Matthew 24:6 says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Keep that in mind, brothers and sisters, man. Don't sound the alarm. Don't run off and say, well, it's almost over. We do know that we are closing in on the beginnings of the end. Remember, that's what Yahweh Shah told us. He said, what? Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, not the end. We got to make sure that we're accurate on that. We got to make sure that we're not pump faking and fear mongering and selling, wolf tickets and hope to the people like the churches would do. But we do have to always be aware, and we have to know what time it is, because once these things start kicking in, it says sorrow is soon to follow. We're seeing all these things right now. The people are sorrow. The people are mourning. Have you seen the DSTM we just did on Wednesday? I went over, Isaiah 24, and it talked about all of the things that's within the earth, man. The resources, the minerals, the food, all the good times, the strong drinking of wine people used to have, and living merry and everything else. He said all of that is coming to pass where the people are no longer going to be merry and joyful and, acting as if there's nothing wrong going on the earth. The time of mourning, the time of plague, famine, disease, death, war is upon us. So we know we're at the beginning of the end. Right. So one of the things that we got to be aware of, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. So when we hear about these things, we're seeing them, we glorify the Most High. We glorify Yahweh Shai. We praise the heavenly angels. We're saying, yes, the beginning of our deliverance is upon us. That's why we're not troubled, That's why when we see these particular type of stories and news, we're excited. While the rest of the world is scratching their head or, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, self-medicating themselves through various intoxicants, trying to escape the sorrows, we're embracing it and turning it into strength. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we have to see all of these things go down, but the end still isn't there yet. So what are we talking about? Let's catch some more rumors, man. Jake loved to sip some tea. Isn't that what they call it in the social media world? And Wendy Williams and all them other cats, they talk about sipping or pouring the tea or spilling the tea or whatever the hell they be saying. Negro and Hispanic love some tea. Well, here we go. This is the real tea that we need to be sipping, not worrying about who Drake is dating and what Kanye is doing and Jay-Z. We ain't worried about that. Wondering if, Chris Rock is going to ever accept Will Smith's apology. Who cares about that crap? The real tea that we need to be spilling all over the damn place and staining our garments is this. Royal Navy warships scrambled to a standoff with 2 Russian submarines in the North Sea. So the Royal Navy of the UK, which is obviously a NATO ally and one of the controlling partners of NATO, just recently had a standoff with Russian subs. Nobody fired off, but it was a stand down, stare down. Who's going to make a move first? This article was published July 22nd. So we're talking about, maybe about a week and a half ago that this went down. And what's today's date? I'm saying a week and a half. I might be a little off on that. Time is flying so damn fast. Yeah, today's the 5th. So if we're looking at the 22nd, so what was that, 7 days ago, a week ago? Fair enough to say what, last week? No, I'm tripping. 12 days ago, 2 weeks ago. Shalaka, y'all. It's Friday Night Lights. Give your brother a break. Been a long day. All right, so the Royal Navy ship scrambled to a standoff with 2 Russian subs in the North Sea. A Royal Navy ship is closely tracking 2 Russian submarines as they're sailing through the North Sea. British submarine hunter HMS Portland was on watch as cruise missile submarine I'm not even going to go there. Severodinsky, whatever. These damn Russian names. And a Kula class attack submarine Vepr made the underwater journey south along the Norwegian coast from the Arctic. The 2 subs surfaced separately in the North Sea, northwest of Bergen, Norway, on July 16th and 19th. NATO and Baltic allies took over duties as the submarines continued to St. Petersburg, where they are expected to take part in the Russian Navy Day celebrations on July 31st. So I remember I mentioned telling y'all we're playing catch up from the channel being shut down and everything else. So some of these articles may be dated. Some of them y'all may have heard or understood already. So if I'm saying something that you've already heard, understand, this is for the ones who haven't, and just bear with your brother. Let's move on. This is recent. China was making major threats about Pelosi visiting Taiwan, her encroaching and sticking her fat nose in the business when she needs to be back home supporting her husband, who's on trial right now for DUI. No wonder he's drinking. He got to deal with this witch every damn night. So her husband's over here trying to fight a DUI. He claimed, this dude actually pled not guilty. When the evidence was clear, man, the dude totaled his Porsche truck, crashed into something else, blood alcohol levels out of pocket, and he says, not guilty, Your Honor. I guess, we're going to see if white privilege prevails. She's running wild. Instead of being there as a helpmeet and a tower against death to her husband, she running over here stirring up the pot, trying to get World War III cracking. China cuts ties with the U.S. in retaliation for Nancy Pelosi's vicious and provocative Taiwan trip. Provocative. So we see here that China is making good on completely severing certain relationships that they have with the U.S. This one in particular is dealing with the climate change. They were trying to ride with the U.S. and pushing that climate agenda and everything else. They said, no, we're not pushing that lie no more. We're not pushing that madness. And you can't count on us. Forget about it. So they sever in certain relationships so that the war could be clear when it goes down. There's not going to be no mistaking as to whether or not who or if China is going to get involved. They're making a declaration that we're not effing with the U.S. no more. Only thing that they have invested right now is real estate. And of course, they're still, importing and exporting their made in China goods. But sooner or later, they're going to cut that off once they get the BRIC economy going with Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa. Iran has put their bid in. So once they try to get and establish their counter to the U.S. dollar as being the world reserve currency, they're going to completely cut off America. So let's finish reading this. Tension spiral as Beijing also sanctions speaker and Biden demands talk with ambassador after ballistic missile test. So once Pelosi went over there, as everybody should kind of be aware of now, China turned up. They haven't struck Taiwan yet with any offensive weaponry, but they're running tests. They're launching missiles, blowing them up in the water near the South China Sea and near Taiwan. They're surrounding the island. They're putting themselves in positions to where Taiwan is saying, look, these are threatening positions that you're putting your army and your military in. If you're going to do something, do it, and we're not going to back down. So let's finish reading this. China has decided to sanction U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her immediate family in response to her vicious and provocative actions. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said on Friday, despite China's serious concerns and firm opposition, Pelosi insisted on visiting Taiwan, seriously interfering in China's internal affairs. You see how that is? But see, this is when you can do this type of stuff. There we say, we know this classic scripture, right? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Listen, why would she? This is how you know that the white man is the wicked and his dog woman. It says, despite China's serious concerns and firm opposition, Pelosi insisted on visiting Taiwan, seriously interfering in China's internal affairs. This is business amongst the Chinese and the Taiwanese. But you know what? White woman go over there with her white privilege, pulling a Karen, a political Karen, going over there saying, what's going on over here? She has no business going over there, man. The Speaker of the House, she's the Speaker of the House, but the other guy, I forgot his name, he's already gone on record saying that the U.S. supports the one China policy, meaning that they don't support Taiwan annexing themselves and claiming themselves to be a sovereign island or nation. They still believe that that's part of China. This is what the whole war is over. I mean, this is what the whole conflict is over. This is why China says this is our business. They're trying to separate. We're saying no. That's just like, I remember they may still be talking about, but I remember some years ago, Texas was threatening to secede from America and declare themselves an independent state or independent nation. Under whatever actions they could do under the Constitution, they wanted to secede because they didn't like what Obama was doing and all this other matters, right? So imagine if that was the case. Texas separates and then says, yeah, we're not going to be a part of America no more. We want to be recognized as our own sovereign nation. And then here comes the gooks flying over here talking about what's going on. Hey, we're going to support Texas. And if America does anything, we're going to bomb you or all this other madness. Does that make sense? I mean, that's essentially what this white woman in America is doing by running over there, sticking her nose into business of the Chinese. They said this is an internal matter. Why are you coming over here? And she's insisting because you know what? She wants to go out on her shield at 82 or 84 years old, however old she is. You know, these damn devils, man, can't never let go of the damn throne. She's going to die in office, you know, because she's what, third in line to be a president? So slow Biden don't never recover from his long bout with the DVOC. Kamala comes in. Something happens to her. Pelosi's next up in line. This broad probably thinks she got a shot to get in. You know, this is the first time a U.S. diplomat has been over into Taiwan, I think they said in damn near 25 years. So she wants to go out in history. You know, I'm the first woman over there, Speaker of the House. I'm, the last one. It's been 25 years. Oh, they threatened to shoot down my ship. I'm not scared. You know, a real Karen. Getting into everybody's damn business. So she insisted on visiting Taiwan, seriously interfering in China's internal affairs, undermining China's sovereignty and territorial integrity, trampling on the one China policy, and threatening the peace and stability of the Taiwan Strait. A ministry spokesperson said in a statement, it comes as Taiwan condemned its evil neighbor, China, as huge military drills once again encircle the self-governing island, drawing harsh criticism from its allies. This again, is a so-called white man trying to stir up the pot and trying to be the trying to get World War III initiated. That's what it's all about. You got to get World War III cracking. That's what they're trying to do. So she's over there trying to get everything stirred up, trying to get everything rolling, right? And here we go. Okay. So now let's get back over here. So just like China said, they're over there they're provoking war. Provoking it. Okay. Look, NATO chief warns Putin the whole alliance will react if he invades a NATO nation and says Ukraine war is the most dangerous situation in Europe since World War II. Well, what are we talking about then? If they're saying this is in comparison and hasn't been as bad since World War II, the only thing that you can say to compound that is to say World War III then. It's trending in that fashion to where all nations is going to rise up. There's going to be internal strife amongst the beast systems. Let's look at that in Revelation 17. I think it's 17:16. It's going to be an internal strife. And really, ultimately, they're all going to turn on America when it's all said and done. But see this? Revelation 17:16, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. So we're talking about NATO, the EU, the European Economic Community. They're all part of the same 10 horn structure and system of domination, control, economic, military power. The same cast of characters, the most powerful 10 within the European nations are the ones that said that you saw on the beast, these shall hate the whore. Well, the whore is who? America. They're going to turn on America and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. What are they going to do? They're going to bring torches. They're going to, throw gasoline on America. How is America going to get hit with fire from these other nations? But see, they have to go to war amongst themselves first. Then we're going to see them turn on America. They're going to end up turning on America. I think that's in Obadiah too. Let me see. Let me see that. Yeah. Look at this, Obadiah 1:7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. So now they're bringing America. They're going to drag along America. America's thinking they're in control. Remember, the Most High is structuring this. Hold on. There's another scripture. Daniel 2. Most High is playing chess right now. Our Father is cold, man. Look at this. Daniel 2:20, and we'll read 21. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. Verse 21. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So when we're seeing the Most High making these particular moves, he's removing and setting up kings, preparing for the ultimate showdown, the ultimate battle, Armageddon. This is how the Most High is making it happen. So we just got to seeing that the 10 horns is going to hate the whore and going to turn on him. Verse Obadiah 1:7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. And who is it talking about? He's talking about who? Edom. So all of Esau's allies, man, they're all going to turn on him. They said that, these men, they're going to be walking by hissing at him. Look at this. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Among all the heathen, man, he said he's the most despised one. Because really, don't nobody like the white man, but they got to deal with him because he's in control of the earth. The Chinese don't like him. The Koreans don't like him. The Arabs don't like him. The Africans don't like him. Hell, they don't even like each other. When you're looking at Putin and slow Biden, and man, Esau don't even like himself. This is how you know he's going to be destroyed, and the ultimate destruction of America is going to come. But it says that them that were at peace in the confederacies that he was involved with, well, who was part of the confederacy? Who's part of the confederacy? Psalms 83. And this is speaking about Israel and the crafty counsel that's been taken against us. For lo, thine enemies, verse 2, lo, thine enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. We're seeing that play out to a T right now. They've destroyed our language, our culture, our history. They distorted the iconographies of archaeology. Fortunately, the Most High has put the spirit of reservation and restoration to many of the artifacts, a lot of the artwork, so that we can actually still see relics and paintings of our people in churches and cathedrals, archaeological finds that we find here in North America that link us with being the children of Israel. Now you got the churches out there running around saying, no, you're not the Israelites. Deuteronomy 28:68, all that happened during the time of Rome. Oh, you're not the Israelites. You're twisting the scriptures. You leave it up to Gina Jennings. He's talking about Christ had a white head and brown body. So he's saying Christ had, leprosy. And there's no way he could have been black or all black. He's confused. So they want to make sure that Israel is no more in remembrance. We're not supposed to even think about, desire, feel as though we're part of the nation of Israel. They're going to do everything they can to make sure they did. They've done that to a T, right? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Well, who's confederate against us? The tabernacle of Edom. Remember, we just got to reading in Obadiah said all of the confederacy. Let me switch it up back over here. Hopefully everybody's following. All the men of thy confederacy. So everybody said this particular confederacy, and this is just lightweight what we're reading in Psalms 83. There's many more nations against us or part of this confederacy. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So look at it. Who's part of this? Who's part of the confederacy? The tabernacles of Edom. So the so-called white man and all his constituents, from the British to the French to the Russian, Scandinavian, Norwegian, Danish, Spanish, Billy Bob from Arkansas, all of them. The Ishmaelites, or the Arabs, Moab, the The Chinese, the Hagarenes is Africans. Gabal, Ammon, these Japanese, Amalek, the Revelation 209 fake, fraudulent, identity thieves, the Philistines, the Africans are still against, throughout history, they all have taken confederacy against us. So once you see all of these particular nations, I mean, who represents the so-called Negro in the UN? Are we part of that confederacy? Is anybody standing up for the Native Americans in the UN? Anybody standing up for the Hispanics in the Latin nations? No, we don't have that representation. Slow Biden and the rest of these damn mouthpieces and talking heads out the White House claim that they speak on behalf of us. So the whole Confederacy, man, is going to turn on Esau, man. So we're going to see ultimately multiple nations going to war as the trumpets are blowing 1 through 5 and 6. All of these things are starting to come to pass, man. NATO chief warns the whole alliance will react, meaning what? The whole world war will kick in if Russia invades any NATO nation. So to simplify that, we can say, well, how many? Let's see here. So let's look at this. What is it? NATO? National Atlantic Treaty Organization. So any of these countries, if Russia moves on them, commits any act of war, it is lit. Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, the Netherlands, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. You don't have a lot of room to work with. Any of these nations get touched, it's going down. Poland, they're pretty close. Romania is pretty close. So these are the things that we got to keep our eye on. Croatia, all them other nations, man, they're all close. So NATO is throwing out threats to Russia. If anything gets invaded, World War III is kicking in. Right now, they got a civil war between the Ukrainians and the Russians, very similar to what we may see with China and Taiwan. As I said, that's an internal conflict. But if it spreads out to any other of these nations, we know it's go time. Okay? The UN warns humanity is one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation. Well, why are we even reading headlines like this? The Christians and the dumbed down zombie public, man, when brothers is out there on the highways and the byways talking about America's going to be destroyed, the thermonuclear fire, this, that, and the third, they look at us like, man, we're crazy. Something's wrong with us. Like we got five eyes on our foreheads or whatever the case may be. Right. And now we're seeing headlines that is talking about things that resemble scriptures like this. Let's read. I think I want to read verse. Well, no, we'll just read verse 12. Okay. 2 Peter 3:12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The scriptures you're talking about, man, eyeballs melting out of their heads and all of this other stuff. From what? What's fervent heat? We're talking about thermal nuclear heat is what's coming. And now we're reading headlines that's talking about the UN, the United Nations, is saying one false move and nuclear annihilation can kick in. Look at this. And we've been extraordinarily lucky so far. No, you haven't been lucky. It's all about prophecy, and it's all about the gathering of the 1/3 and the sealing of the elect. Once the children of Israel have been sealed, your luck is running out. This is why we're hearing and seeing all of these particular headlines, such as this. UN head warned world faced nuclear danger not seen since the height of the Cold War. Secretary General Antonio Guterres was speaking at NPT conference in New York. It is a conference of countries belonging to the nuclear non-proliferation treatment. He called for the world to find a new path towards a world free of nuclear weapons. That ain't happening. You know, Russia's not about to give up their, I think they got 5,000 and 7,000. They got the most nukes in the world. Next, I think next is America, then China. Don't get me the quoting wrong. Let's see here. Don't get me wrong. I know for sure that Russia has the most. Yes, it is. U.S. got fun. This according to Wikipedia. Who knows how accurate this is? I don't, I wouldn't hang my hat on it, but I know for a fact that this is accurate though. U.S. has got 5,428. Russia's got 5,977. The U.K. got 225. France 290. 350 for China. India 160. Pakistan 165. North Korea got 20, and Israel got 90. And Iran is trying to get their weight up. And I mean, all you need is you only need a couple, 2 or 3 on any particular landmass in these hemispheres, and that hemisphere is pretty much over with. So if America got hit, as Russia has threatened to hit New York, America the whole East Coast is finished. It will be uninhabitable for the survivors, let alone the actual destruction. It would take thousands of years for New York and the East Coast and New England area to recover. They've got that Satan II missile that Russia has is strong enough to destroy France, not debilitate it, destroy the whole country. That's just one nuke. And Russia and America sitting on thousands. They got enough to blow up the earth 10 times over, maybe 500 times over. So they're stocking up. And they're saying, we're lucky that nothing's happened so far. U.S., Britain, and France condemned Russia for nuclear saber rattling in the Ukraine. Look at it. The coming war over Taiwan. With its global power at a peak and domestic problems mounting, China is likelier than ever before to make good on its threats. Well, this is interesting. Listen to this. The U.S. is running out of time to prevent a cataclysmic war in the Western Pacific. While the world has been focused on Vladimir Putin's aggression into Ukraine, Xi Jinping appears to be preparing for an even more consequential onslaught against Taiwan. Mr. Xi's China is fueled by a dangerous mix of strength and weakness. Faced with profound economic, demographic, and strategic problems, it will be tempted to use its burgeoning military power to transform the existing order while it still has the opportunity. China needs this war. The war is actually going to build up the economic problems that they got going on. Y'all seen the video with the tanks defending the banks? They stole everybody's savings accounts. China's in trouble over there. So they need something to kick in to kickstart their global power again. They need something to actually go jump off so that they can actually justifiably start delving into different economic sanctions, treaties, powers, making particular mergers and deals. justifiably. I mean, look at the Ukrainians. They done got 60 billion off of America alone, and they ain't did nothing. Or act like they're fighting while the president is over there posing for Vogue magazine. There was in that video I always recommended, South of the Border, the documentary about the IMF and America's colonization of South American countries. George Bush told the president of Argentina the best way for them to get out of the economic struggles that they was having is to start a war. This is why you see that America has only known peace, I think, for like 16 years of its existence. Let me make sure I'm accurate on that. You know, I want to make sure I tell the truth. Look at that. 17 years. I said 16. I was close. Depending on the year they put it. Yeah, see, I said 16. It all depends on the source. 16 years, they say here, 15, 17. So anywhere between that time, depending on the source that you use, right? But this is why America maintains its power structure. This is why America maintains its economic dominance over the rest of the world, because they know how to get it cracking. While they act like, oh, we're a nation of peace, land of milk and honey, everybody wants to come here because we love everybody. No, America's out here establishing war, destruction, and death. Got a trail of bodies and blood crying from the ground here in America, man, from the Israelites. While they, parade themselves around like this great whore, draped in purple and scarlet and, the jewels and everything else, making it look like, man, she is just that thing. You see that old raggedy hoe walking down the street in a harlot attire, and that lustful brother, driving down the street, man, he can't help but look. He knows she dirty, she foul, she got spirits galore on her, man. She might have AIDS or worse, but he still got to look. Still got to look. See, that's what happens with the nations, man. America got so much dirt, foul stench coming from it, but the nations got to look. Man. They still want a peace. 15 years, either between 15, 17, or 17 years, depend on the source, but tell you how long America's been at peace, because they know war makes money, man. So China wants in. Because they're going to get defense spending. They're going to get money for defense spending. They're going to get money. They got to print up more money to actually start, establishing an economic base to build and buy, to take over other nations, man, so they can expand territorially. Esau's good for that. We know that. As soon as he defeats, man, he coming in, colonizing, taking over, and that's another expansion of territory. Another place that they can get money. See, China wants in on that. So it's more likely, according to this article and other analysts are saying, it's more likely, man, that China's going to follow in the footsteps of its white zaddy, Putin, and get busy too. Time will tell. Putin will come to China's aid if it goes to war over Taiwan. Oh, look at that. Alliances are being made. Putin told the Chinese, listen, we're going to go ahead and get your back, man. If you go to war with Taiwan, we know America's waiting. We've been waiting to get it on with America. So let's go on record letting it be known. You get it cracking with Taiwan, man, we're in it. And they're already in a war with Ukraine. But that lets you know how they feel, as though we're still toying with Ukraine. We ain't even really got busy on them yet. We can handle both. Putin will come to China's aid if it goes to war over Taiwan. Leading Russian senator vows. And we know, according to Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, man, how important a vow is. That's our culture. That's our stipulations with the Most High. That's the civil matter and how we live. We make a vow, the Most High said you fulfill it, or don't vow at all. It's better that you don't than to vow and not pay it, because the Most High was surely required of you. So the Most High said the leading Russian senator vows, but Moscow will expect support for the Kremlin's war in the Ukraine. So they're going off of the old saying, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. See, Vladimir Dezebarov, 69, said, I see no grounds to refuse to help China in war, but I would like to see a two-way movement with China, the lawmaker added. Putin and China's President Xi Jinping have fostered close ties in recent years, but China has not yet openly declared support for Putin's incursion into Ukraine. It comes amid escalating tensions between China and Taiwan after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made an unannounced visit to the self-governing island. China this week is holding large-scale live-fire drills infringing Taiwanese waters. Here's more nations getting involved. U.S., Indonesia, Australia, Japan, and Singapore launched huge joint military drills with 5,000 soldiers on Sumatra amid a rising maritime threat from China during Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. So we're seeing here, man, the troops is all getting turned up. Other nations now are joining in, and you see who's pulling them all in? The U.S. doing joint military drills. So the U.S. is going over to Indonesia, joining up with them, saying, let's get ready. Australia, let's join up. Let's run some drills. Japan, we're buddies. Join up. Let's run some drills. Singapore, get with it. They're all drinking the wine of the wrath of the fornication of the great whore. America's going to drag their butts up in it too. The U.S. and Indonesia began their annual joint military drills on August 1st with 2,000 troops from each nation participating. For the first time ever, the U.S. and Indonesia are being joined by allies such as Australia and Japan, while the U.K. and Canada have observers present at the drills. So the U.K. and Canada said, we're not going to drill, but we are going to watch. And guess who they brought in for the first time ever? Oh, Indonesia. Small little island like that. They said, listen, nobody's exempt. Either you join in with the beast system or your ass can get put to death. Indonesia said, oh, yes, white man. We certainly join. So who they joining with? So now they joining with Australia, Japan, the U.S., Singapore. They're all running drills right now in preparation of what could be World War III. Look at it. 100,000 North Korean soldiers could be sent to bolster Putin forces fighting the Ukrainians. Remember, I just said on Wednesday that Kim Jong-un, he's constantly launching off missiles, running tests in defiance of America. Now he's also threatening to say, we'll send 100,000 troops to go help Putin. Now do something, America. You don't like it? I mean, you're sending your troops over there. The UK is sending troops over there. France is sending troops over there to help the Ukrainians. You're sending $60 billion, tanks, Javelin missiles, everything else going on over there. So they say, hey, what better way? You know, and this is why I said on Wednesday, don't get it twisted, man. Moab and Ammon still are under the thumb of the so-called white man. They still love them some white men. They're still in subjection. See, North Korea, they're going over there just to brown-nose Putin because they want in. They want to be part of the conversation of being a world power. They want in of being part of what could be World War III. Up to 100,000 North Korean soldiers could be sent to bolster Vladimir Putin's forces fighting the Ukraine, according to Russian reports. A leading defense expert in Moscow, Reserve Colonel Igor Korochenko, told State TV, we shouldn't be shy in accepting the hand extended to us by Kim Jong-un. So they said, we ain't going to turn it down. Bring them on. North Korea has made it clear through diplomatic channels that as well as providing builders to repair war damage, it is ready to supply a vast fighting force, reported Regnum News Agency. So, I've been saying it for a long time, man. All the nations are choosing sides. All the nations choosing sides before this full-blown war goes down. Look, South Korea leader snubs Pelosi over the holiday, adding to his woes. So South Korea has distanced itself from America. Pelosi wanted to go to South Korea, and they're allies with America. They said, you ain't gonna pull that crap that you did with Taiwan. We're cool. Stay your ass over there, Pelosi. We don't want to meet with you. You can call me on the phone. Don't come over here. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol, these names, boy, who has seen his approval rating drop to near historic depths just 3 months after taking office. Sound like slow Biden, the goop version of slow Biden. After taking office, didn't see it necessary to greet Pelosi in person, opting for a phone call instead. President Yoon's vacation schedule and Speaker Pelosi's visit to the Republic of Korea overlapped, and we did not rearrange our schedule, his office said in a statement. Oh, see, any other moment, they said, man, rearrange the schedule, man. This is an important meeting. We're not going to go ahead and leave that alone. But he said, man, we're not going to go through what Pelosi did, man. We ain't going to have North Korea doing drills and getting ready to get it cracking on us. Kim Jong-un, he's waiting to hit something. They said, white woman, stay over there. We don't need you over here right now. Hit me on the jack. Yoon will likely be the only leader not to meet Pelosi during her high-stakes Asia trip, which included becoming the highest-level official to visit Taiwan in 25 years, as well as the first sitting House Speaker to visit South Korea in about 20 years. You know, when you hear those type of statistics, man, you know, but she a little too old. I was going to say something explicit, but I'm going to leave that alone. It was Friday Night Lights, man. Forgive me, y'all. But let's just say, man, her mouth salivates. If you dig what I'm saying, when she hears stuff like that, man, she get a little hot and bothered. You know, that's a turn on to her. She thinks she's somebody. With her old, decrepit, dusty. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, South Korea leader told her, stay away, Pelosi. We don't need your visit. Oh, look at this. Look at it. Maybe he needs to tell this to slow Biden. You think he's convincing him? Y'all see what it says. I'm not going to read it because you know how they do me. You know how they do me. But this guy is warning people, you know, reprimanding. You know, that's how you know better. So this is the white privilege man. This is this dude is a doctor. And here he is laying out veiled threats. What do you mean I'm going to get in trouble? What's the consequences? What's he trying to say? If you don't follow protocol, you're going to get in trouble. Read between the lines, y'all. When you got your president who did everything you said, and even himself did everything he said, and he then got hit up and pulled a Dennis Rodman and rebounded a couple of times. Slow Biden. He didn't got hit with the Rodman and rebounded a couple of times. And then already said, man, this dude tested positive 5 days straight. 4 times he got jacked in the arm and followed protocol. And now they're saying, if you don't do it, you're going to get in trouble. Anyone who hasn't had all of their inoculations could be in for a difficult time as the colder seasons approach and the virus continues to spread, America's top doctor has warned. There are enough people who don't fall into high-risk categories that if they don't get inoculated, if they don't get super boost, they're going to get into trouble. What's the trouble, man? I mean, is he? What are we talking about? We talking camps? You talking about loss of jobs? What are we talking about? What's the trouble? He hasn't explained that. He didn't say you're in danger of getting ill. He didn't say you're in danger of being infected. You're going to get in trouble. Huh. Okay. So he says that on the radio. Almost 80% of the population has been given at least one poke of the DVOC. 80% of the people walking around you has got something in them right now. And they getting hit back to back. All of a sudden, this new thing that popped up out of nowhere, plaguing people's skin with fevers and all kind of other madness going on with it. They're talking about you got to live with it. They got the ninja and all kind of other names that's popping up. But suppose if 80% of the people have been given at least one treatment, you would think that the numbers and dangers would go down. Leave it to them. But let me just move on. Only 2/3 of Americans have received their second poke. Interesting number. 2/3 went all the way. You know, I'm gonna stop there because I don't want to get in trouble. But y'all see what it is. Okay, you don't get in trouble. Ooh, read between the lines, man. You tell me what he's talking about. What's the trouble? Yeah. Y'all got any ideas? Let me look in the chat. Y'all got any ideas? What's he mean we're gonna get in trouble? Do y'all know? When he say you're gonna get in trouble? Anybody got any ideas? I hate to find out what he's talking about. You're gonna get in trouble. You don't get it. Okay. Tell that to slow Biden. Natalie, hey, tell me something. Hello? You can't scare us with that, right? You dig? That's perfect. We already been in trouble. Our biggest trouble is getting in trouble with the Lord. What are we worried about him for? Give me a damn break. But he's laying out the threats, though. Look at this guy. Slow Biden still testing positive after he goes, he shoots, he's off the rim, rebound. Biden. He didn't got hit with DVOC 91. Oh, but he still feels well, huh? But you notice you ain't heard him talk at all. You ain't heard him come out saying nothing public. That frog in the throat, that runny nose, that stinky breath. So he can't shake the thing, man. He can't shake the thing. He's quarantining with the dog still. Lord knows what's going on in that room. U.S. declares public health emergency over the Mpox outbreak. So it's official. It's official that it's now a new plague. But remember this?
We need more money to plan for
efforts to address the.
We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. And that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.
Hold on.
We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. And that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.
Just everything from
COVID.
We need more money.
He would not blink. Watch him when he speaks. He won't even blink, man. That's how you know, man. It's a damn snake. You know, a snake don't take his eyes off his damn prey, man. They keep wagging that tongue to get the scent and to get the level threat. They don't take their eyes off. Watch this dude.
To plan for
You're
the
gonna
second
bug his eye
pandemic.
out.
There's going to be another pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. And that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.
Everything from COVID-19 and our efforts to address the global pandemic.
Huh? Uh-oh.
To address the global pandemic.
There's going to be another pandemic.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So, declaration has been made. We're up to 7,100 infected cases now. When, what were we in? May? We was at maybe like 11. Now we're up to 7,100 all of a sudden. And the TikTok army is all over the internet sharing their cases, right? Got everybody shook up. Very interesting. The federal government declared a public health emergency Thursday to bolster the response to the Mpox outbreak that has infected more than 7,100 Americans. The announcement will free up money. Free up money. What did he say?
We need more money to plan for the second pandemic.
So they're getting that money. Didn't we cover this guy? Didn't we cover him? Look at this demon. Look at the skin of a damn lizard, man. Bill Gates says the world got lucky with the pandemic, and it takes $1 billion a year for the world to prevent the next one. So what? Slow Biden said we need money for the next one. Remember this? You know what? Nope, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not playing it. Every time I go there, they get on me. So let me. Y'all already know what time it is. No need to expound. But we see what's going on. The announcement will free up money and other resources to fight the virus, which may cause fever, body aches, chills, fatigue, and pimple-like bumps on many parts of the body. You know, this reminds me of the HIV/AIDS epidemic going on in the 80s. You know, I was a kid, but you know, once you get in the 90s and you start hearing about and learning about, HIV, Magic gets hit, and you like, oh snap, Magic's gay? Like what? You know, because it was always, it was a sodomite disease. Only sodomites is getting it. Until it started hitting the Jake. And next thing you know, guess who's the highest carriers of the disease, of the HIV? Let me see. Let's see. It says of June. I just want to see something. Where's the damn? Let me see. See, they got it over here, but they don't just make it plain. White, blah, 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 blah. Some disproportionately affected. Oh, look at this. While HIV affects all races and ethnicities in the United States and dependent areas, some groups are disproportionately affected compared to their population size. Black African American people and Hispanic Latino people are particularly affected by HIV. See? Starts off with, oh, just the Sodomites is getting it. Oh, next thing you know, the real target ends up or creating an imbalance in the scales when we're the ones who's getting it more than anybody else. And before you know it, we're up out of there. And what is it to Esau to lose some of these guys? Oh, big deal. You know, Esau loses some of them in they army. The real target is these jakes, right? So this is what they're up to. Oh, California declares a monkeypox state of emergency, so they're following suit. Height of hypocrisy as he declares a state of emergency. Check this out. Newsom, Governor Newsom here in California, the governor, declares the Mpox a state of emergency in Cali after allowing gay leather kink festival to go ahead, but banned kids from going to school during the pandemic. He says, man, kids, you can't have no contact, 6 feet, you can't go to school, blah, blah, blah. Nobody needs to be contacting each other, man. Stay at home. Remember all that stuff, that all the lockdowns, everything else. And while he was out sipping expensive wine at the restaurant, maskless, with his friends and family, and got busted. Height of hypocrisy. Here he goes. See, the Sodomites can go out there and have their little leather S&M, or what they call it? Yeah, maybe S&M festivals, leather and kink going on. Or they can go around and super spread and rub up against each other and parade around and do all the other madness. And actually raise the risk after the fact. After he lets this go down, now all of a sudden, oh, we're in a state of emergency. You think he could have prevented that by banning the Sodomites from having their little festival? You think he could have slowed that down? Oh, no. Sodomites rule the world, man. They in complete control and power, man. LGBTQ plus HIV, that community. Oh, man, they shot calling while they're crying victim. They're bullying everybody. And this dude was scared to say, no, you can't do it. Because what? Oh, you're against gay. You're against the Sodomites. You don't want us to have fun. Oh, so instead of being canceled, I'll go on and let them have their little leather kink fest. Lord knows what's going on in that thing, whatever that was. But let them go around super spread, and all of a sudden, oh, it's a state of emergency. California became the second state after New York to declare the Mpox a state of emergency. So didn't it play out the same way with the last thing that we was dealing with, or that's still floating around? New York starts it, California enforces it, Chicago will be next, and then we're going to see the rest of the country fall victim. Newsom said the declaration will help state officials coordinate a government-wide response, seek more inoculations, and lead outreach and educational efforts. So far, nearly 800 cases of the Mpox have been reported in California. The San Francisco Department of Public Health was on site to inform the local LGBTQ plus community about the viral disease and to keep them safe. Isn't that nice? The type of Mpox virus identified in this outbreak is rarely fatal, and people usually recover within weeks. California has received more than 61,000 jab doses and has distributed more than 25,000. State officials await more shipments. Some lab techs are refusing to take blood from possible Mpox patients, raising concerns about stigma and testing delays. So now we're seeing a breakdown in the actual medical system. I seen a video. I don't know if it was I don't know how I seen it. I don't know if somebody sent it to me or it came on like a YouTube feed or something, but I think it was a TikTok video. I don't know. Maybe y'all seen it. It was an Edomite woman, nurse, and you can hear she's talking with a sister. You know, you can tell that Jake talking. And they, laughing, talking about, I ain't touching them people, man. They better get on and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not doing that. And so basically going live preparing themselves to get fired. The Edomite definitely gonna probably get fired or disciplined. You didn't see the other sister. You just hear her in the background in their conversation. And they laughing, talking about, oh, I ain't getting that thing. You got to quarantine for 60 days before you come back over here. I ain't taking no. So this, I think, is where they may have got the genesis of that, or, it could have been multiple reports. But nonetheless, they talking about surgeons and lab techs and all kind of people are refusing to touch anybody who got that thing. Many technicians at LabCorp and Quest Diagnostics, two of the largest commercial labs in the U.S., have been refusing to draw blood from patients who might have monkeypox, CNN has learned. And believe you me, I work in the medical field. LabCorp and Quest Diagnostics, those are the two, they're true. Two of the largest commercial labs. This is when you get your blood tested, they the ones that do all the analyzation and send back the results to the doctors and to the hospitals and whatnot. If they're not even taking the blood, good luck finding independent labs who's going to actually, do the work in mass that they need. LabCorp and Quest don't dispute that in many cases their phlebotomists are not taking blood from possible monkeypox patients. What remains unclear after company statements and follow-ups from CNN is whether the phlebotomists are refusing on their own to take the blood or if it's the company policy that prevents them. The two testing giants say they are reviewing their safety policies and procedures for their employees. From what I've seen in that video, it was the employees that was like, I ain't touching these people. So I don't know if it's company policy or not, but you're seeing a breakdown in the medical system. People ain't even going to be trying to help nobody. People got their first dose with the last thing. Oh, they were the heroes. The nurses and the doctors, man, who stayed in the hospitals, who didn't back down, who masked up and gloved up. Running y'all, you know what I'm talking about. Frontlining. And then when people start dropping and people start getting it and all of that, they was like, we're not doing that again. People coming in here with a plague? Nope. Hero my ass. What do they call it? Essential worker. No, I'm not doing it. So good luck to the people, because when more and more people take on that spirit and take on them protocols and say, I'm not risking it. I got family. I'm not taking that home. I'm not going to deal with that. So good luck. That's why a lot of people that's getting monkeypox are having trouble getting tested and getting confirmed, because not only are people refusing, but initially they were saying that the CDC was the only ones that had the test kits, and you had to wait for the CDC to actually do your get your blood work done. Regular doctors and all that, they don't even know. They're telling people, man, oh, you got a strep throat, you got a little fever or something. Here's some antibiotics, man. Drink plenty of fluids. And when that ain't working and you see more breakout, they come back like, I think I got that thing. Oh, yeah, well, we don't know if that is or isn't. We can't confirm. You're going to need to get tested, but we don't have the test. Contact the CDC and they'll instruct you on how to get tested. More time goes by, next thing you know, man, somebody got a complete outbreak, and who knows who they've been touching, who they've been laying up with. And the governor saying, go out and have your leather kink fest, man, and do your best to the men of Sodom. Okay. Scientists reanimate dead cells in pigs. A potential breakthrough for organ transplant. Now, this is so-called white man desirous to be a creator, desirous to be like the Most High, infatuated with trying to understand the resurrection of Mashiach Yahushua. How did he do it? He believes that he died and rose in 3 days and 3 nights. Good Lord, come on, IQ. He believes. He's saying, how can I do it? He's figuring out how to reanimate, meaning how to dead cells, bring them back to life. Dead organs, bring them back to life. Romans 1:25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever? Amen. Look, let me jump up. Verse 24. Where God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own body between themselves. So we know the corruption that happened amongst men. Okay, this scripture, this scripture is talking about how the vain imaginations and the destructive ways of man caused the Most High to lay judgment on them. All of the things that our people is into, the so-called white man is into, it said, look, vile affections, men with men doing that which is unseemly. You understand? Okay, I guess I gotta go up a little bit. All right, let's read verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So one thing that we do know, everybody's been given a certain amount of faith, a certain amount of understanding that they have to go by, believe in, and follow through on. I always say, man, even an atheist has faith. And you say, how the hell is that? Because you know what? When he's speeding and before he rear ends somebody, when he hits them brakes, he's got faith that damn brake, that car is going to stop. Why? Because the book and the manual that came with his car said, if you press this pedal, the pads are going to lock onto the wheel and it's going to stop. And you've got lubrication, brake pads and rotors and everything else that's going to actually cause this thing to stop. And you say, well, I believe it will. An atheist will believe every 2 weeks or every week or once a month, whenever he gets paid, that after he's labored for 40 hours, 80 hours, or however many hours he's supposed to be laboring, that direct deposit is going to go through and that money is going to be in his bank or her bank. That's faith, whether they understand it or not. That's the principle. You read Hebrews, the first chapter, 11 chapter in the first verse, it tells us what it is. That's the essences of faith, right? But the Lord said he's given it to everyone. For the children of Israel, man, everybody's got it. Look, faith is the substance of things hoped for, or I hope my brakes work. I hope that paycheck goes through. The evidence of things not seen. So the evidence now bears witness once you see that it actually worked, once you see that it actually came to pass. But it begins with things that you have not seen that you hope actually come to pass or actually will hold true. That's faith. So speaking to the children of Israel, man, for therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So everyone has a certain dispensation of faith. It's up to us to build that faith by application of the scriptures, by appliance of the laws, statutes, and commandments, by actually building up our relationship with the Most High and our faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. That's how we're going to establish ourselves. Verse 18, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God, have showed it unto them. So the Most High reveals and manifests himself to us in many different ways. He always is going to show us and have evidences for us to build on our faith. We can either blindly just say, you know what? No, that ain't the Most High. That was me. I did that. The so-called white man puts out these humanist doctrines where he got you believing that you can make things manifest. All you got to do is believe. You got Jakes running around here pushing these particular doctrines into men and women's faces, saying you don't have to believe in the Most High. You can believe in the universe if you want to. That's up to you. But you've got to make your reality manifest. You got to be the one that actually makes that money. You got to, even the Christians put it out there. It's, you got to, what do they say? Put it out there and claim it. That type of madness. Oh, not pray for it, not fast for it, not actually, do the things that Joshua 1:8 says, to meditate therein day and night in the word of the Lord, and then thou shalt have good success, and then you'll be prosperous. No, don't do those things. Just put it out in the universe and claim it. The Most High said, I'm always going to show things to make you understand and believe. Verse 20, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. So whether it's the wind blowing, whether it's the crashing of the waves, even the waves, it says, man, the waves faithfully hold themselves in order. They don't go past the shoreline that the Most High lays out unless he says go further. Otherwise, the waves even go out to a certain extent and come back. The birds, everything. The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. So the things that we didn't see from the beginning, all are being manifest in front of us, being understood by the things that are made. So the things that have been created started with nothing. It tells you that the earth was darkness and void of light and so forth and so on. Then everything started happening through creation. Now we're starting to see everything that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God. So when we had opportunity to know the Most High, we didn't give the Most High his proper honor and due respect. We broke the commandments, and then we went into sin and perdition. And next thing you know, we're being cursed. Neither were thankful. Just read the book of Judges. You see captivity after captivity, man. Going into captivity under the Philistines. You're going into captivity under the Midianites. You're going into captivity under the Ammonites, Moabites. Going into captivity under the Ishmaelites. And every time we go into the bondage, we cry to the Lord and say, we're sorry. We're going to do right by you, Lord. Most High has mercy on us, man. Lets us out. And next thing you know, we go right back, do the same thing again. So neither were we thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like unto corruptible man. So what we do, we end up having idol worshiping. We're bowing down to Baal, bowing down to Diana, bowing down to Isis, bowing down to Ishtar, bowing down to Nimrod, bowing down to the Set, to Horus, bowing down to whatever these damn Egyptian gods. I mean, there's so many of them. Bowing to Ra, bowing down to Slow Biden, Caesar Borgia, right? You see our people over there bowing down to damn Pope Francis, making an image of the uncorruptible God into a corruptible man, into birds of four-footed beasts and creeping things. The Native Americans bowing down and worshiping all the damn aspects of the earth, animals. They got the legendary skinwalkers. They transforming, into different animals and all of that, claiming that they have the legend of what do they call it? Just basically transformations. They can transform into animals and all. I mean, the high priest be doing. It's all kind of folly going on within Israel. Verse 24, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So now we're seeing why our people are so caught up in the LGBTQ HIV communities, man. The Most High said, well, if that's what you want, man, go ahead, because you're going to get put to death anyway. 2/3 of y'all got to qualify for death. I need blood. The Lord said, man, there can be no remission of sins without blood. The wicked have to be a ransom for the righteous. Somebody's got to pay the cost, so that the righteous who actually are disciplined, who actually do love the Most High in truth and in spirit, can be delivered. So the Lord said, I'll give them up to the uncleanness and their lust. They dishonor their bodies between themselves. What else do they do? Who change the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator. You're going to see our people, man, running around talking about, oh, this is great breakthroughs in science. Oh, great. White man has learned how to resurrect the dead. Oh, next thing you know, where's Anadab, man? The zombies is coming. My brother love him some zombies, boy. He waiting for that day to say, man, here they come. I told y'all. Well, here you go. He's talking about that. What? He's got the power to reanimate dead cells, and starting with pigs. They always love to experiment on pigs, man. Infatuation with pigs. Well, they say, but that's the closest to the organs of humans. Well, how come every time they put it into a body of a human or a pig organ, man, somebody's always dying? New research is confounding. I'll get back to the scripture in a minute. New research is confounding conventional wisdom about life and death. Again, this is the so-called white man's infatuation with being a creator, man, thinking that he can be as the Most High, man. That he can actually go out there and be a creator. I can resurrect from the dead. It wasn't about Yahweh Shai. It wasn't about Yahweh Shai. Before I move on, man, come on, y'all. I see it's plenty of y'all in the Messengers of the Covenant channel. I got 2 likes. 2 of y'all wiped your feet. Y'all don't do me like that. I mean, I got a panhandle. I got a bag for y'all to wipe your feet and be respectful before you come into the house. Is it like that? Come on, man. Y'all gonna do me like that? Get them likes up, man. Show some respect and some honor, man. Y'all just come in and eat all the damn food. Do me like that. Hello? Do your brother that favor. All right? If you on the Messengers of the Covenant YouTube channel, I got 2 likes and it's 13, 14 of y'all in the thing. All right, there we go. My brothers and sisters, man, y'all a call to action and y'all jump right on it, man. Throw out it. I just want y'all to play fair with me. That's all. Throw out it. All right, let's continue on. So, white man is out here trying to play God again. So, reading on, it says, new research is confounding conventional wisdom about life and death. Researchers at Yale University used the technology to restore cells and some organs of pigs that had just died, bringing the animal cells back to function. The findings, which were published Wednesday in the scientific journal Nature, raised profound ethical questions about how medicine defines death, but also teases new possibilities for the collection of human organs for transplant. See, and this is also a cut for the atheists and for those who are more science-based, because now we're seeing it actually is possible for the dead to be arisen. You follow? So this could cut both ways. So even though Esau is utilizing the science methods to say, well, there is actual evidence that one can come back from the dead, in our essence, we're saying, yeah, that was our Savior. He did that. 3 days and 3 nights, man, he rose again. Came back to life, right? Now he's saying, well, I've gotten the knowledge now enough to do organs or cells. I haven't been able to do a whole body of human yet, but I can see the possibilities of that happening. See, look at this. My eyes went wide. Brendan Parent, an assistant professor of bioethics at the NYU Grossman School of Medicine, said about the moment he first read the new findings. My brain went to all the crazy places we could go in 20 or 30 years. See that? He's already thinking about, can we do a whole body? Can we bring somebody back from the dead? What could this mean for transplants? You know, can we just start? They're already harvesting organs all over the place of Israelites. They want to figure out, man, how can we actually put these things to use, man, so, they can actually live out their get out moments. Parent was not involved in the study, but was asked by Nature to write a commentary discussing the implications of the new technology. Well, there he goes. White man at it again, getting back over here. So we're seeing who is serving and worshiping the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. One more scripture. Get to Isaiah. Isaiah 40. Let me see if I can get Isaiah 40 and okay, let's look at 28. It says, hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting God, the Most High Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching his understanding. You see how vain it is for the so-called white man? He said, there is no searching out to understand the ways of the Most High, man. The power of Yahweh, the everlasting, eternal power himself, the creator of the ends of the earth. But this is the so-called white man's quest, is to try to find out, man, how to be like God. Didn't he say that in Isaiah 14? I will be like the Most High. Or was that Isaiah 13? Where is he at? Am I in the wrong scripture? I think I am. 14. That's the 13. Well, here goes the thought of the so-called white man. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. So his knowledge wants to extend. He wants to extend above the clouds. So that's why he's shooting up the rockets. That's why he's putting up the satellites. That's why he's claiming he went to the moon. And I mean, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You talking about you did it back in the 60s, man, and technology is where it's at now, and you have not been back. All of the said quest to go back out there, man. All these rockets. Ask Elon Musk and SpaceX how many rockets he done lost trying to get past that Van Allen belt. I'm not buying that. So he's trying to ascend above the heights of the cloud. He's throwing up the robots. He's throwing up the satellites, trying to get up there. He said, but what's his ultimate goal? I will be like the Most High. And the Most High said, man, you are wasting your time. There is no searching out my understanding. What's the matter with you? That's the vanity of the white man, though. That's not the one. Isaiah 40. I think I went too far. Is that it? I must have skipped over it. But y'all seen the scripture in Isaiah 40. One more time. Listen to the so-called white man say, haven't you don't know? Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Most High Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. But the white man said, I'm not listening to all of that, man. I want to know. I'm going to be like him. You understand? That's what he's trying to do. All right, let's get on back. Dangerous technology, man, so-called white man is playing with. Now listen to this damn maniac, man. That's millions of families with dignity and peace of mind. Biden celebrates his economic plan as U.S. more than doubles. Expected job increase with 528,000 added to payrolls. So he's out running victory laps. He's claiming a victory, saying, "Oh, who recession? Who? Poor economic growth? What? Oh, no. There's been 528,000 jobs added to the payroll. Everybody's balling. The problem with that is that people that are getting these jobs are low-wage jobs that are not matching the cost of living. So what? You know, McDonald's and Popeyes and Uber and whoever else is hiring people when the cost of living is what it is. That don't help nobody. Case in point, look at it. Biden takes victory lap. A stellar jobs report cools recession talk. You know, this is just BS, man. This is politics because they know everybody's seeing the recession talk. You just seen Wednesday. They said America is officially in a recession. Everything is out there. They want to quell panic. So they say, you know what? Calm all that talk down. Let's talk about how many people are working. Really? Okay, hold on. This Jerome Powell from the Federal Reserve, and this is his statements he made the other day. I'm gonna skip around on this, but let me back him up a little bit. Because this Ammonite man, I'll be watching him sometimes. He get on here and he starts to commentating. I just want to get to Jerome Powell.
Because unemployment is low. So I do not think the U.S. is currently in a recession. And the reason is there are just too many areas of the economy that are performing, too well. And of course, I would point to the labor market. Now,
So he says that there's no recession because there's too many things that is actually performing well. And the first thing he points to is the labor market, or the only example he gives is jobs that people are actually working. Now, where are the plenty of? Where's the rest of the performance? Let's see this.
Necessary to get inflation down to 2%.
So as I mentioned, we think it's necessary to have growth slow down, and growth is going to be slowing down this year.
Hold on. Understand what he's saying now. This is double speak, man. This is how the so-called white man speak with forked tongue. He just said earlier, 2 minutes earlier, about 2 minutes and 40 seconds earlier, he just said, I don't believe we're in a recession because of the employment growth. Now he just said that we've got to slow down employment growth. Hold on, let me back him up a little bit.
Have growth slow down, and growth is going to be slowing down this year.
He's saying, bottom line, growth is going to be slowing down, meaning people are going to lose their jobs this year. Right now, they're out here applauding because what? The primaries is coming up. Slow Biden wants to act like, oh, I'm out here hiring people. He just made it easy. They just got to saying, man, people without citizenship, green cards, and all of that can actually work legitimately, and they are trying to open up every door that they can to try to get them votes in, and trying to get people back on the bandwagon of folly. He just got through talking about how great the employment growth is. Now he just said we've got to slow that down, and we will. One breath you saying that it's a good thing. Now you're saying, actually, that's a bad thing, and we got to start chopping heads.
To get inflation down to 2%.
That's the white man's a devil.
So as I mentioned, we think it's necessary to have growth slow down, and growth is going to be slowing down this year for a couple of reasons. One of which is that you're coming off of the very high growth of the reopening year of 2021.
So you hear that? He said, we're coming off a very high year of the reopening of 2021. In other words, businesses are opening back up. People are hiring. People are getting jobs, so forth and so on. That is where we're seeing economic growth come from. But we've got to slow that down. We got to stop that. Well, how do you stop it? Oh, people are going to be losing their jobs. People are going to be getting laid off. People are not going to be able to afford that food, that water, that rent, that car note, that insurance, them bills. Because what you going to do? All these people going to go on unemployment and disability or whatever? They ain't got that much money in the storehouse to support the people that they're getting ready to lay off. All hell is going to be breaking loose soon. Leave it up to him. He said, oh, we've got to slow that down, and we will. So what we're seeing is all the growth coming from the reopening of 2021. But that we're going to slow that down. Why does he have to do that? Because the more people are working, that means more dollars are circulating throughout the economy. That means more inflation, more spending, more buying, and that's all bad for the economy once it's in a recession right now. That means a continued downward spiral of economic growth is going to happen because there's too many dollars floating around. The more dollars that's floating around, the less valuable that it is. It's monopoly money at this point. They want to slow that down and make money more valuable. Only way you can do it is to cease it from being around in these markets.
You're also seeing tighter monetary policy, and you should see some slowing. We actually think we need a period of growth below potential in order to create some slack so that the supply side can catch up. We also think that there will be, in all likelihood, some softening in labor market conditions. And
some softening in labor market conditions. So you know what that means. People's going to be losing their jobs.
And those are things that we expect that And we think that they're probably necessary if we were to have to get inflation, if we were to be able to get inflation back down on the path to 2% and ultimately get there.
As he just shrugs his, wrinkled up lips. Hey, it is what it is. You niggas is gonna lose your jobs. Spicks is gonna be losing your job. But don't worry. For the ones that lose their jobs, we're gonna underpay some of the so-called migrants to work them jobs, and we're gonna kick their asses out while you sitting on the sidelines. White man knows what he's doing.
In this video clip,
it's a cold devil, boy. Let me play one more clip, and then I'm gonna get back to it. I got a timestamp, so now listen to him here.
he says that it is necessary to bring inflation down.
We are highly attentive to inflation risks and determined to take the measures necessary to return inflation to our 2% longer run goal. This process.
Look at them papers shaking, man. This dude's nervous as hell as he got to break the news. And this is the head demon controlling the damn money for the Federal Reserve.
Is likely to involve a period of below trend economic growth and some softening in labor market conditions. But such outcomes are likely necessary to restore price stability.
Look at them papers shaking. He know what that means for the public.
And to set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run.
The federal.
So, Slow Biden is out here patting himself on the back, saying how great a job he's doing, how many people is working. But at the same time, here we are talking about how this is about to go down. Okay, go ahead. You with me on that one? All good. All good. Let me get back over here. Hold on. Where am I at? It's like I got lost. So here you go. He patting himself on the back talking about how great he's doing. Everybody's out here working, man. Everybody got money. And he says, what? That's millions of families with dignity and peace of mind. What world is this dude living in? The DVOC must got him, hallucinating right now, man. Here's four articles alone that speak exact opposite of what he said and what Jerome Powell said. Oracle reportedly plans to lay off thousands of employees. Oracle is a tech company. Geico, insurance company, closes all California offices, lays off workers. All California offices in Geico, the little lizard that's running around on them commercials? Yeah, them. Layoffs, all California shut down. Report, Facebook employees brace for layoffs. Oh, your metaverse, they all getting laid off. Amazon shrinks staff by 100,000. Joining Netflix and Google and hiring slowdown. Hello? What is Slow Biden talking about? Man, what kind of smoke and mirrors is the damn devil doing this time? Just got 5 witnesses that's saying the exact opposite of what he's trying to run around here, parading in front of everybody, got everybody duped out here thinking that we're on the right track. Everything's going good. Hey, look, people are getting jobs now. The people that's getting these jobs are not matching the cost of living. That's number one. Number two, they're all going to get laid off around in the very near future. They're just going to wait till after these damn primaries. And if the Democrats don't get control of the House again, it's coming even faster. So look, you believe who you want to believe. The proof is right in front of your face. Goddamn liars, man. Look at this. Now we're in trouble, man. When the most undesirable meat is under lock and key in New York, man. You got to go to you got to ask for somebody to get the key to get your favorite drink, your favorite bottle of yan, the liquor, the wine. You got to ask them to unlock it, man. They doing that in various countries. Meat, some dairy products is getting locked down in the UK. Now look at New York. Spam goes on lockdown due to inflation in NYC. You're talking about the most undesirable meats now are being put under lock and key. You telling me inflation, famine is not upon us? I mean, who's eating spam still? Good Lord. And that's lockdown. It's the nation's crisis in a can. Inflation and crime have gotten so bad in Gotham that even cheap meat like Spam has to be locked up. At Dwayne Reed's store in Port Authority Bus Depot, the shelf-stable product, only $3.99 a can, is now being stocked in plastic anti-theft cases. I've never seen this before. One cashier laughed while using a magnet to remove a can of Spam from his cage. The cashier was among the employees, tourists, and store regulars stunned that the iconic blue and yellow cans are now being kept under lock and key, some even poking fun at the sight as a sort of Jeff Koons homage per one viral tweet. The only place I ever seen people eating Spam like that is in Hawaii. They serve that stuff at McDonald's. It's like a national meat, man. Them people over there love Spam. But now it's under lock and key in New York, man. It's only indicative of where we're at as far as, like they said, crime, inflation, let alone famine. Look, dollar store dinners and vats of shampoo help families cope with inflation. But Slow Biden said everybody's working. Millions of Americans, man, can now have some dignity. You know what he said? Dignity and peace of mind. Meanwhile, spammers are getting locked up. Multiple corporations are preparing and are currently laying off by the thousands, closing whole offices. Dollar store dinners, man. More people are going there, putting together a smorgasbord of dollar store items. I mean, I just seen a video, man. I don't know. Let me know if y'all seen that video, man, of that brother that got killed for stealing. I've heard of the turkey Spam. I've never had it. I never liked Spam regardless. But, you know, I do know that they do have turkey Spam. Let me know if y'all seen the brother, man, that stole a dollar thing of laundry detergent. And a cop shot him in the back of the head. Did y'all see that? I mean, come on, man. This how you know it's getting more ridiculous. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. The Shade Room got it. I'm gonna see if they got the video. I mean, this is unbelievable, man. I don't like the Shade Room. Too many damn ads and stuff going on. Let's see what the Huffington Post. Okay. Deputy kills unarmed black man after allegedly shoplifting from a Houston Dollar General. Footage shows a Harris County Sheriff's Office deputy chasing a man, pinning him down and hitting him with a stun gun before shooting him in the back. Now, obviously, this is a younger picture of the brother because you see him, he was older now. They say he's 47. I'm trying to see if they got the video. They ain't got the video. Oh, well. Yeah, here we go right here. Now, he was chasing the dude, got him to the ground, stunned him, right? The damn cop drops his taser up in front of the Jake as we see it. So the Jake is yelling. He telling the man, get off me, just shoot me, whatever. Jake grabs the taser. Now, look, here goes the thing. Here's the footage. Stop, dude, I'm going to tase you, Harden says. He tells Brooks to get on the ground several times. The officer then stuns Brooks, taking him to the ground. The footage goes dark briefly. When it returns, Brooks is on the ground and the officer has his hand on his neck. The stun gun is on the ground close to Brooks' head. Why did you tase me, Brooks asked Harden. Please get off me, man. The two begin to struggle while pinned to the ground. Brooks grabs a taser in front of him. I'm going to shoot you, put that down. Now, if you're looking at that, the Jake is still on his belly. It's not like he was wrestling and got on top of the cop and had the taser pointed at. The Jake is on his belly. He's struggling. The cop is on top of him. He grabs the taser. Yes, he did. However, he was in no position to aim and fire or even hit the cop because he's on his back. I mean, he's on his stomach with the dude on his back. Esau says, I'm going to shoot you. Put that down. Harden says, I will effing shoot you. The body camera footage shows that Brooks did not point the taser toward the officer and that he let go of it while Harden reached for his gun. Harden then shot Brooks in the base of his head and neck while holding him to the ground. And if you've seen the video, man, it was unreal. And you're talking about over $1 store item believed to be some detergent. From what I seen, they said it was some detergent. I don't think they got it in this particular article. But I mean, Proverbs. Let me get this real quick. Proverbs 6. I mean, this is why the Bible is so justifiable, man. Because it's, the so-called white man, his bloodlust, man, they're trying to kill us all the damn time. If he had any morals, any principles in his wicked body, Proverbs 6:30 says, men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he's hungry. Nobody's mad if you steal, if you stole because you're hungry. But what? It says, but if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give the substance of his house. It said he's got to give from his house. He's got to give everything he has in order to make that right. Sevenfold. So if he stole $1 item, he got to pay back $7. I mean, that's the bottom line. He'd have to pay some restitution. Go ahead and let the man, satisfy his soul. I mean, that's like the little kid, man, that they had over there in I forgot what state that was. I think it was in Minnesota. They had the little 10-year-old kid, man, handcuffed. He crying and looking crazy for still in a bag of chips. I mean, the little kid was hungry. But the so-called white man says, man, detergent, chips don't matter, man. We're going to kill your black ass. Dollar store dinners. I don't know how I got detracted from that. My spirit just went there. But nonetheless, man, dollar store dinners, everybody's going discount shopping in order to survive. But Slow Biden says everything's great. Happy days are here again. I don't know if y'all seen this. T.O., Terrell Owens for the football community, Hall of Famer, wide receiver, superstar at his prime. He had his Karen moment. And he was filming her. He said, man, I can't believe this. I seen the video. I didn't believe this ever happened to me. He's driving to his mailbox. I guess he lives in a housing community. Driving to his mailbox. White woman yells to him, stop speeding. He's saying, I'm not speeding. I'm driving to the mailbox. There's another sister, who would sound like a sister, who witnessed everything from her garage. The white woman says, you almost hit me, all this other stuff. Why do I bring this up, man? Because the police is on the scene. She goes full-blown Karen, starts crying, talking about she almost hit him. T.O. got out the car to harass her and all this other stuff. He said, woman, I did not harass you. You were yelling at me, blah, 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 telling me stop speeding. I'm not speeding. And then this was her defense. The reason why she got intimidated and called the cops, you're a black man approaching a white woman. You're a black man. That's the offense. I mean, can we talk Emmett Till all over again? She's in that era. That's how you know some of these spirits, man, are regenerated right now, man. Her attitude is you don't have the right, nigga, to approach a white woman. And she's crying and recklessly. And T.O. is filming this, and he said, I can't believe this. He talking to the cops. The cops like, man, calm down, relax. We see what's going on. He like, no, I'm cool. But damn, Karens really exist. But you see the superiority of the so-called white woman? This is the mentally ill white woman, man, that's running around. This is the birth of the Karens. I put this out a long time ago, at least a year and some change ago. There's a certain percentage are like mentally ill, and they're all on drugs. I forgot. Yeah, see that? This is just one thing. Progressive white women report high levels of mental illness in 2020. Look, a study: majority of liberal white women are mentally ill. I mean, see, this is them. Pew study. 53% of white liberal women have mental illness. You know, and Pew is a research company that does various studies, social studies or whatnot, right? This is the birth of the Karens, man. They all sitting at home on antidepressant drugs, sipping wine all day, housewives. You know, that's why they glorify them TV shows, Housewives of Beverly Hills, Housewives of Orange County, Housewives of Atlanta, and all of that, you know? And half these broads, man, half these damn demon ass witches are on drugs, mentally ill, and they've been given white power and privilege to where this broad can run around and say, you're a black man, let alone not even recognizing. But that again shows you, man, it don't matter who you are. You still a nigga in their eyes. Hall of Fame football player, doctor, lawyer, doesn't matter. You a nigga. Right? Don't get it twisted, T.O. You're a black man approaching a white woman. She got every right to call the cops on you. Right? And she's tearing up on cue, you know, the whole nine, claiming he harassed her and all this other stuff, right? But this is the mentally ill white woman of the millennial. Now, they're sitting at home popping Prozac and popping you know, all these damn antidepressant pills, sniffing coke and doing all kind of madness, and then want to go out shopping, then want to go out into the public, all jacked up, causing problems every damn place. You so-called Negroes, man, you better stop defending these damn white broads, man, and talking about what about the white man and my white wife and all. You better get the hell away from them before you find your ass locked up. Unreal. You know, this is, again, with the scriptures. Let's get this real quick in Matthew. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. I mean, we're seeing more heinous crimes, more violent actions that's happening in these streets, man. A sister just got put to death over mayonnaise at a Subway down south a few months ago. Now look at this. NYC career criminal 20 who shot McDonald's worker 23 in the face over his mom's cold fries. French fries cold. Is perp walked after confessing to a separate 2020 murder. Over some cold fries, man, they get into an argument. His mama talking about the fries is cold. He get into a confrontation with the worker. The Jake go gets the gun from his girlfriend, comes back, shoots the Jake. Over some French fries, man. I mean, what's going on with McDonald's? I mean, we just seen that. Like, now we know it was a fake video of the woman talking about you didn't feed my other kids, arguing with her supposed baby daddy about McDonald's. I mean, R. Kelly's, you know, carousing around McDonald's trying to pick up high school girls. You know, these Negroes out here killing each other over cold French fries at McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's needs to get shut down, man. Something's going on in it with that damn food. It's got these Jakes acting the damn fool, losing their minds. It's unreal what's going on. And if you watch, I think it's Super Size Me. If you ever seen that documentary, I think they said that they put sugar in everything except for their salads, and it was salad and something else. creating that sweet tooth desire. You know, you get that sweet tooth, you desire, you know, man, I really feel like such and such. They know that that's a bait into getting Jake to get it, right? So when they put the sugar into the food, that's how you get that craving for McDonald's. Man, I want some McDonald's fries. Man, I want a Big Mac. Oh, I want the McNuggets or whatever. And next thing you know, you're going over there and getting it. They know how to bait you in. You look at the marketing, they talk about the colors, different colors, red, yellow, of marketing. Those are eye-catching. That's why you see red in almost every fast food advertisement. Red is an attraction. That's what draws you in. Look at all the logos. Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, Wendy's, Pizza Hut, you know, Papa John, all of them. Everyone has red in them. They know what they're doing. And now they got niggas out here killing each other for cold fries. Something's going on in this damn food, man. I don't know what it is, but this got niggas acting crazy. I talked about this on Wednesday. I meant to pull it out, but I'll do it right now. We seen this here. 2 Ezra 15. 2 Ezra 15. And look at this. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. There's going to be a moment of unrest where people are not going to respect authority. They're not going to care about the sheriff, the police, the SWAT team. They're not going to give a damn about the military, the Coast Guard, or whoever. They're not going to listen to the mayor, the governor, Slow Biden, or whoever the said president is at the time. Wherever they're at, you just seen what happened over there in Sri Lanka. They went and took over the whole presidential palace, ran him up out of there, took over his whole damn palace. Even though they starving, they said to hell with it, man. We just gonna go ahead and take over and make our mark and say we ain't having it. Well, look at these crazy Negroes over here in the Bronx. Ambush, terrifying moment. NYPD cops are ambushed by glass bottle throwing gang who injure 4 officers as they tried to arrest a man armed with a loaded handgun. So one of their homies is, you know, he got the strap on him. He's trying to get up out of there. They provide distraction, throwing bottles and taking on the cops. And we just seen last June about all the cops that was retiring and quitting. So not only are the cops in New York dealing with a shortage, now the hooligans is getting ready to take over the streets in New York. A jarring video shows a group of thugs hurling glass bottles at officers from the NYPD during an arrest at the Bronx that became violent at times and out of control. Yeah, one of the dudes, he was getting it on with the cops, man. He lumped up a cop, took off running. I think that was the one who had the gun on him, if you see the video. But yeah, man, these cats are throwing bottles. They ain't give a damn about the cops. And when the cops start seeing this, they're gonna say, man, forget it. We can't win for losing. We can't shoot these niggas. Otherwise, we're gonna lose. We lose our jobs and get suspended. I'm not gonna get pelted over the head with bottles or get shot or beat up by them. We seen what happened in Chicago, where they said you can't chase nobody no more. And as soon as they did, they tripping the cops, making them fall. Even they tripped that white woman, man. She fell all on her face, running around like a damn chicken with her head cut off. They getting ready to turn this place inside out. And the people, like I said, the course of their action going to stand in their hands. It's going to be every man for themselves. 26 million Texans are facing AC and power crisis as a week-long 100-degree temps have seen power grid reach 80 gigawatts for the first time ever. So we're seeing Texas getting pushed to the brink of energy costs out there. So, you're going to see higher bills out there, pushing people to the brink as far as the energy crisis. We seen what happened a year and a half ago when the grid went down during the winter and they had that big storm and people was getting froze out and got jacked up because they didn't have the power back up to handle it. The rich neighborhoods did. They had power in certain areas, but blocks away, whole neighborhoods was shut down. So you seen what I endorsed to y'all a while back. I do believe in the little solar power and everything else. Everybody can't get it, may not have access to it, but you got to get a couple of little things, man. Who knows what could happen? We always hear about, attack on the grid. Let alone, I mean, Esau can just sit back and manipulate the weather and cause the grid to go down from excessive use. So, Texas is dealing with it. I know my people's out there in Texas, man. I know y'all good, but you know how it go. Look, worsening drought drives California water prices to an all-time high. They got the water police out. The drought is kicking in. Bottled water, all that, them costs is up. Nobody's, you gotta be careful with that. Ain't nobody drinking no sink water and all that other madness. But all of this is happening. This is where they're making it harder to even have a garden. That's why they, got zoning practices and all kind of foul stuff that's going on where they telling people you can't grow a garden in your backyard and all this other stuff. So being even self-sufficient, they're making it hard on Jake. Saying, oh, you can't have a garden, man, you're going to use too much water. You can't do that. Go to the grocery store, man, go get this GMO crop. Oh, you don't like the Franken foods? Oh, well, guess what? You're going to starve then. Oh, look at this. The Democrats suddenly, unexpectedly, have some momentum. See, the pundits predicted a red wave in the midterms, but Democrats are building a blue wall. See what I'm saying? All of the trickery, all of the fork tongue, double speak, all of the foul foolishness that Slow Biden and his constituents are doing, they're trying to convince people, hey, let's turn this thing around. And let's not forget that there was a controversy with how he even got the seat of where he's in. You can't even speak about that. YouTube has community guidelines saying that was, conspiracy. You see what they did to Trump? They killed his account here and Twitter and everywhere else for claiming that. So dare me say anything about it, but just know that that's nothing new. They got compilation videos, man, out there showing the Bush and Al Gore. And the Democrats was claiming that George Bush stole the election. Got it unfairly. I remember seeing that, I think it was on the document Fahrenheit 9/11 or something like that. And I remember them talking about that. It might not have been Fahrenheit 9/11. It could have been. I can't remember. But George Bush was on a plane and they were telling him, you're down on the polls. It's about to wrap up. It's not looking good. It looks like you might lose this one. And he said, oh, no. We're going to win. We're going to win. Don't you worry. We're going to win. And he smirked and laughed. Next thing you know, they had the Florida recount. Y'all remember that? They had the Florida recount. All of a sudden, all these ballots got missing, came up. Oh, next thing you know, George Bush is the elected president. So be it far from them talking about, is that what it was? The recount? But you know what I'm talking about, Karatazar. What are you talking about her own brother? I don't know what Chet's talking about. Anyway, running out 12 hours count what? Spam? I hope you ain't talking about no damn spam. Yeah, okay, Karatazar. Then you know what I'm talking about. That dude smirked and said, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. And boom, here you go. The damn recount kicked in. So what's good for the goose ain't necessarily good for the gander, man. Donald Trump, he claimed foul. They said you crazy. You out of control. They claim foul 12 years ago or 20 years ago, and it's all legit. It's very interesting. So, looking at the polls and looking at Slow Biden's approval rating, let's see right now, where do we stand at with his approval rating? Uh-oh. What Biden's low approval ratings and high profile wins could mean for the midterms. Joe Biden's approval rating boosted ahead of midterms. Boosted. Joe Biden's latest approval ratings are lowest for any president. But I thought he was the most elected president ever. Now he's the lowest for any president. Look, Biden approval rating falls to a new low. But all of a sudden, we're seeing this. They've got some unexpected momentum somehow. Very interesting. So don't be surprised when everything is looking down and all of a sudden they up. You see, he's running around saying, I'm considering, foregoing or extending the student debt and wiping off $10,000 for you. Oh, I'm letting in migrants so they can come in and work and don't need green cards no more. Oh, I'm doing this, that, and the third. Look at the jobs. I'm doing this. Look what I've done to help fight off the pandemic. Thinking he's going to gain confidence. He's not going to do it naturally, man. It's impossible. No way he can naturally gain favor like this. You know what this means. It's going to be another armed robbery going on, but we'll see. Shocking moment: SUV plows through a Native American heritage parade in New Mexico, leaving several injured, including 2 police officers. So just like they had out there in Wisconsin, and the Jake rolled through that Christmas parade, they had another incident like that. Now, because this happened, we're gonna ban cars. We're gonna people died mass death because of that. Or is it the car's fault or the driver? Is it the gun's fault or the person who's holding the gun? Come on. Some of y'all saying Native American, they out? Yet they still exist, y'all. They still exist. They're around. They come off of the residence. They living in population areas in New Mexico and the Navajo and the Hopi societies over in Arizona, Nevada. They're around. And not the $5 Indian ones. But we see here, I'm not exactly sure who or what nationality was behind the wheel. The one they pulled out, I saw one of the cats in the video, they pulled him out the car. He looked like he could have been from the Northern Kingdom, but I'm not sure. He could have been an Edomite. But they haven't said exactly who it was at this point. I'll follow up on that. Look, 1 person shot dead, 2 injured after a gunman opened fire in a hotel room at the Mirage in Vegas, as the city's iconic strip is plunged into lockdown. So what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas, huh? So we're still seeing the uptick in the mass shootings, open areas. They just had I think a cat shot 2 people in San Antonio at a LA Fitness. So mass shootings are still going on. They got to use that for more momentum to, talk about the Second Amendment, impose some more laws, strip some more rights. While the derelicts is running around acting crazy in these streets, man, smashing and grabbing, raping and robbing, they telling you, man, trust us. Just call 911. We'll be there to protect you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I got it. Look at this evil witch. Boyfriend 25 dies after his skin is melted off when his girlfriend 24 sprayed him with 50 cents worth of gas and turned him into a human fireball during row at Texas gas station. This wicked broad, man. Can you imagine? 50 cents worth of gas. and set her man on fire. Let me see something. We know the curse of Deuteronomy 28. Look at Ezekiel 16 and I think it's 48. I think it's 40. It's like, hold on. I'm trying to find that scriptures. Look at this. Verse 45. Ezekiel 16:45. It says, "Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children." See, this is Israel, man, in our wicked state, metaphorically, calling us a woman, right? Jeremiah 6:2 tells us that. Now, put that in today's terms. Thou art thy mother's daughter. You know that old saying, she get it from her mama? If y'all seen the video, brothers uploaded the other day, and you got the hoochie mamas from the 90s, I think it was the title, acting a damn fool, threatening to throw a bottle. They dress as harlots, man. The mama's acting a damn fool. Got the young daughter there, the eldest daughter acting a damn fool, because they want to dress like harlots and they want to show their butt cheeks and all that other stuff. And if a brother corrects her and tells her, she's out of pocket and out of order for that, they don't want to hear it. But we've seen a prime example of that. She get it from her mama. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children. So, you got these women, man, who are just spiteful against their men. You see this crazy ass broad, man. She went and lit her man on fire. Breonna Johnson, 25, doused Ricky Doyle, 25, in petrol as he sat in the backseat of a Jeep and set him on fire after a row on July 18th, according to the Arlington Police Department. I mean, if that ain't wicked, man. Loathes her husband and their children. She's the epitome of loathing. I mean, how can you just be that damn vindictive, man? I mean, we hear about Al Green. Al Green got hit with the grits. I mean, some of y'all sisters, man, be super vindictive, boy. Y'all can do some real damage. And the men too. Don't get me wrong, man. Men go around here swinging their fists and doing choking sisters out. I mean, Israel, we got a real problem. We got a real problem, man. When Israel goes left, man, we go left. Verse 56 of Deuteronomy 20. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom and toward her son and toward her daughter. Bottom line is, we're going to see domestic violence and struggles going on within our nation because of unrighteousness and because of sin. And when you see stories like this, man, it's just more evidence. Do you see this happening within the Revelation 2 and 9, 3 and 9 communities? Are we seeing these type of headlines? Are we seeing them going through these particular issues of single parent households, man, domestic violence, kids being thrown up into the juvenile and the foster care systems? Are we seeing those things, man? The high rates of abortions, is that going on with them? Hell no. They don't fit the criteria, man. His brother's skin was melting up off of him, man. She must have been having, who knows what kind of demon was on her to do that, man. But this is wicked. Wicked. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we're going to make this fast. You know how I go. I'm going to give y'all a little sample. Look at the woke church. The woke Grace Church in Manhattan. Private school. $57,000 a year. So that they can make sure that they can have a little drag time. Students at woke $57K a year, Grace Church Manhattan Private School, are ambushed by pansexual drag queen performers where kids were told they were homophobic if they didn't wave a pride flag. Now, mind you, this is on video when the Sodomite, I don't know if he was a teacher or what, introduced this dude, the drag dude, he's introduced as the Queen of New York. And you know what? Just as you see them all standing up, they all gave a round of applause and clapped them all in and was so excited when you see the video. And this dude, he parades down, smiling and sashaying all up and down. And mind you, this dress is that short. When he walks past, man, the dude got a damn thong on with his cheeks hanging out in the church, private school. They letting it slide. And they saying, oh, if you don't like it, you're homophobic, man. You don't like to see a dude with some damn stockings and a mini dress on, parading around with wigs and thick ass eyelashes and all that other stuff, and some women's boots on and holding a purse, flashing his cheeks to you. Something's wrong with you. I mean, can you imagine the damn Twilight Zone that they're trying to impose on people? If you don't like this dude parading around in your church with his butt cheeks hanging out, with some stockings and a mini skirt on and thick old snuffleupagus eyelashes and wig on, something is wrong with you. And you're gonna get you're homophobic and you need to be canceled. So I want to show y'all the video, but I'm not going there. I'm not doing it. Students at Grace Church High School have revealed how they were forced to dance along to a drag performance on April 27th. They also said that if they refused to grab a pride flag when they entered the chapel for the 6th annual Pride Chapel, they were homophobic. I couldn't tell. These cats was all clapping like they really was with it. During the Pride Chapel, Jesse Havea performed as a drag queen, Britta Filter. He then spoke to students about the importance of drag representation and said he identifies as pansexual. Here we go with another label. A non-binary teacher also used the opportunity to resign from the school due to their colleagues' use of the wrong pronouns. Oh, how sensitive can we be? Oh, because he didn't say they, her, what? I mean, get the out of here, man. Good Lord. Let's move on. How China sunk its teeth into U.S. farmland. Firms tied to communist regime own 192,000 agricultural acres across America worth $1.9 billion and purchased 300 acres in North Dakota, 20 minutes from a military base. Do you see the fight for the land and the agriculture is on? Bill Gates is in direct war with China. They say he's the largest farmland owner in the United States. Well, in the United States. Outside the United States, guess who it is? Oh, the Chinks. China, yeah. China, as Trump would say. They own 192,000 agricultural acres, and you know how they get down with their food supply and what type of experimentation they do. 300 acres they just bought in North Dakota. Why can they do that? Because they're in America's pockets. America's in debt to China. So China gets free reign when it comes down to real estate, when it comes down to buying up land. Now they're going to monopolize some of these lands. No American farmers are going to be able to touch that. They're going to be over here planting their wild crops and whatever madness that they got going on. And it's only going to give them more opportunity to say, hey, we got land over there. We can move our peoples up over there. Before you know, you got sleeper cells all in America, man. If America and China go to war, it's lit. Think about that. FBI arrests 4 current and former Louisville cops involved in deadly Breonna Taylor raid, including ex-detective who was cleared, of criminal charges earlier this year. So look, you know a leopard by his spots, right? We know that the so-called white man, he's the damn devil, and he's the wicked, and he's the one who's out here murdering and killing our people unjustifiably, as they did our sister Breonna Taylor. Now, they let all them cops go. Guess what? Now they're back getting arrested again after FBI investigations, and they haven't said exactly what did they do. It's not that they're revisiting the case and said, oh, we're reopening the case. No, they're back doing more dirt. Back doing more dirt, and now they got busted. Got greedy. 2 former Louisville Metro Police Department detectives and 2 current officers have been charged in connection with the incident. Joshua James has been arrested and charged by the FBI, adding a false statement to his sworn affidavit. As a result, the no-knock raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment was approved, leading to her death. The EMT was shot 6 times by officers after her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, returned their fire. Ex-detective Brett Hankinson also was charged with civil rights charges in connection with the incident. He was cleared in March on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for firing shots into a neighboring apartment. Sergeant Kyle Meany and Detective Kelly Hannah Goodlett have also been indicted on federal charges. Louisville Metro Police Department organized the raid after believing that Taylor's ex-boyfriend had been drug dealing at her apartment. So they're intertwining the Breonna Taylor situation with their current indictment. The article went on to say that the charges of the indictment hasn't been revealed yet, but they're not saying that it was in connection with Breonna Taylor. This is some separate dirt that these bastards was doing. Look at this. Airbnb apologizes after Mississippi slave cabin is listed as a luxury getaway. Look at this, man. White man still continues to profiteer off of our people. You talking about taking slave quarters, and now they're out here selling people on it as a luxury. White man is something. I mean, he is bold. Bold. Look at verse 44 of Deuteronomy 28. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. So what is an Airbnb? Someone is lending you their home for a certain amount of time for you to go ahead and live there and vacation there and get up out of there. So not only that, we know in Micah 2 that he covers fields of spoils men, houses, and all of that. He's going to lend to us. Thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head. Thou shalt be the tail. Now here he is in our face. Airbnb got to apologize for renting out a slave cabin in Mississippi and advertising it as a luxury getaway. Luxury for who? Airbnb listed in Mississippi seemingly had everything a traveler could ask for: an in-bed and breakfast accommodation, a suite with exquisite antique furnishings, soft linens, a brand new bathroom, and access to Netflix on the smart TV. But there was something else about the Panther Burn cottage that the luxury listing proudly advertised. The property was an 1830 slave cabin that housed enslaved people at a plantation in Greenville, Mississippi. Airbnb has faced backlash in the days since a TikTok video about the listing from Winton Yates, an entertainment and civil rights attorney in New Orleans, went viral. The history of slavery in this country is constantly denied, Yates said in the Friday video, and now is being mocked by being turned into a luxurious vacation spot. Yates, who is black, added that it's not okay in the least bit. Well, you see what happens, man. White man is constantly out here profiteering off of the downfall of our people, man, the enslavement and the oppression of our people. Talking about a slave cabin was actually luxury. Same way that they're re-educating the kids nowadays, saying that the transatlantic slave trade didn't have slaves, they were migrants. Oh yeah, they're changing the language. Oh, those weren't slave cabins, those was luxury getaways. Man, a white man is a devil, boy, I tell you. Unbelievable. All right, let me close out real quick, man. Hold on. Why is this thing not acting right? Come on, change up. Okay. Georgians can claim an embryo as a dependent on tax returns. This could work in 2 ways. You know, there was a TikTok video, some Edomite female, man. She was running around. I don't have TikTok, man. Some of these damn videos come on my YouTube feed, or people will send it to me. White women talking about if a baby is alive as a fetus, then I should be able to claim him on my taxes. If a baby is, I mean, saying all this stupid stuff, man, which had nothing to do with the biology, had nothing to do with the fact of how nature and life itself tells you how a living fetus is alive. I mean, the sperm is alive within itself, swimming before it go ahead and fertilizes the egg. I mean, that initiation of engagement brings forth life within itself. Now she's got her wish in Georgia, at least. So Georgia now is giving benefits for women to not get abortions. They're saying, okay, even if your baby's not born yet, you got an embryo, you can claim it on your taxes as a dependent. So now, white women, you can shut the hell up. But you know what? That's gonna be, for them evil sisters out there, they're gonna run around here and try to get money out for Jake. For Jake, he don't even find out he's the baby daddy yet. She didn't already claim taxes, got money, then tell the nigga get out. It's my baby, and I'm gonna hit you with support after this. From the embryo. Jake don't stay with her, something go wrong. That's what happens with these worldly relationships. There's no law, there's no civil matter, there's no civil code that makes anybody accountable. You break up, you divide. You can divorce, do whatever you want. You can hit it, quit it, one night stand it. It's all good. But the consequences don't come to fruition until the pink line actually is on the positive side. What are we going to do? Also, now in Georgia, they say, hey, you keep the baby, you get some money. That might be incentive for these money hungry sisters, or for the ones who get caught out there as youngsters and they say, well, I don't have the money, I can't afford to take care of the baby. Well, Georgia's starting you off with a little money, So that's something else, man. This is just bringing more to the understanding of what's going on with this whole Roe versus Wade madness. Now look at former Marine linked to neo-Nazi rape creed plot targeting white women. And you know who they're gonna blame? They're gonna run. The plan was run out here and rape white women to get them pregnant because of the dwindling reproductive rates of the so-called white man and his white woman. So they had neo-Nazis, man, that was gonna run around raping white women, and this dude got busted. And they was gonna blame a nigga, just like they did in Rosewood. Right? Thinking they was going to get away with it, man. That's a seditious mind state, man, of the white man. He run around and rape his own damn women to try to preserve seed. But that's the wicked for you. That's the wicked for you. And that's another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger, man. Who's in the house with me, man? Y'all all right? Did y'all stay up? All praises. All praises, man. You said that's it. The toilet before it's flushed is officially safer than a chair. Yeah. Hey, listen. I do want to put this disclaimer out there. I seen the video. I sent it to y'all. For anybody that's seen that video, man, much love to the brother over Sakari, man, Deacon Hakai. I seen the video. It was on my YouTube feed, and he said it had the title said that the Christian churches, something about the Christian church, but it was a video, man. Some sister talking about dropping it low for Jesus, and it was some song. Israel, don't be fooled, man. That was from a TV show. It was a skit. It was a skit, and it was a joke. But it just goes to show you, man, that nothing can go beyond there's no limits for the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that you wouldn't think that it wasn't true. So, she's singing about drop it low for Jesus and do the dirty wine because I'm making it to the pearly gates or whatever the case may be. But it's from the show called Sherman Showcase, and that was it's on Hulu. But the only reason why I'm even familiar with the show is my mother used to work on the show. But nonetheless, don't run around sharing that video saying, the Christians is out there singing songs now talking about drop it low for Jesus, because our credibility got to stand firm. I mean, I got duped. I told brothers, I said, man, it didn't even happen to me with that video with the woman with McDonald's and the baby daddy. I thought that was real. But it only goes to show you, man, that that's not far from our reality. That's believable that a sister would be out there acting that damn foolish and ignorant, arguing with her baby daddy about not buying enough McDonald's for all the kids. So, just be careful out there, man. But drop below for Jesus was wild. It was wild. That was interesting. I was rolling. I had to look at it like 3-4 times. I said, man, this can't be real. And then I looked back and I said, man, this ain't. I looked it up and I said, oh, that's from that show. So nonetheless, man, even the detractors and disinformation agencies out there, man, trying to get us to get out there and say anything so the Christians and anybody else can have some ammo to say, look, they believe anything. They go out there and spread lies. So we got to be careful. But other than that, man, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, while you have a shot, man. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this evening's late night hype, Friday Night Lights. Got some understanding, got some edification, got some things to go back and research. Build your own portfolios of understanding to make sure that and we know that we're staying on top of the game when it comes down to prophecies and understanding that the times that we're living in is crucial. It's crucial, man. So we got to stay strong, stay firm, continue fearing the Most High, keeping the commandments. Always remember, don't shoot the messenger, and wipe your feet on your way out, man. Again, for those that need the contact information, I know the brother asked earlier about Canada. And I told Karatazar and Diz the Wiz. Shar, you already know. I'll hit you up. But hit me up on the email. Got a little something, man, you might be interested in. But we'll see. All right. Bayan Shakal, man, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, my brother, man. You and the fam be well. All right. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. I'm going to let y'all go to sleep. All right. See y'all next time, man. Most High permit. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Shalom.